Hello Vegan Prism, and today once again we are in Balance Bowl, and with us we have Karine. Hello Karine.
Hello.
All the way from Switzerland. How are you?
Fine. I love Malta. It's very nice.
That's great to hear. You got us in Christmas time. I mean, even the countryside is as green as you'll ever find it.
Yes.
Because it gets very dry in summer. And you yourself, you are a vegan, yes?
Yes.
Yes, and a vegan activist. As we'll attach a link to Karine's Facebook in the description. And what influenced you to become a vegan?
So when I became vegan, I made a change in 3 steps. The first step was when my daughter was 4, and one day she told me why I have a died animal on my plate.
Alright.
So it was the first connection that I made with meat and animal. And so she became vegetarian. And me, I stay in cognitive dissonance for 3 years.
Yes,
I
yes.
decided to reduce meat, but I didn't realize all the problem with the exploitation, the animal exploitation.
Okay.
But in 2016, I've seen a video of slaughterhouse from the association in France. It's called L214.
Alright.
Big association. And so I've decided to become vegetarian.
Alright.
And 3 months later, I've read a book regarding Speciesism.
Alright.
And I've decided to fight for the end of Speciesism, and of course we became vegan.
Yes, it was a very conscious, step-by-step effort. And for those who maybe have heard this term for the first time, speciesism, it's basically very similar to racism, but instead of discrimination on race or gender discrimination, it's based on species, where basically, you know, we eat a chicken or a cow, but then we're like, you don't eat a cat or a dog. I mean, there's no difference. And if you had to describe yourself in 3 words.
3 words, okay. I would say sensitive,
okay,
honest, and engaged.
Engaged.
Yes.
In fact, that is a big thing which we'll be discussing, because you yourself, you are an activist, yes? Yes. Yes, and first, before we get into the activism, you're from Switzerland.
Yes.
How is it to be a vegan in Switzerland? We've heard that there was a law that was passed that they won't send male chicks to get shredded alive, and even lobsters, they have to stun them before they actually boil them alive.
Exactly.
How is it to be a vegan in Switzerland?
I think in 2019 it's more and more easy. Because thanks to the work of many associations like PEA, pour l'égalité animale, or Animal Save, and so on, you know, we have every day article or TV interview or radio interviews every day about Speciesism.
Alright, okay.
So now, maybe I'm very optimistic, but I think people now could understand what Speciesism means.
Yes, I mean, when you get it into the mainstream media, which, as you said, you're doing, you have on television, on radio, you have these interviews.
Yes.
When people start absorbing these ideas, I mean, most people, when they realize what's going on, they make as a connection themselves.
Yes.
I mean, nobody thinks it's okay to boil someone alive or to send someone to a shredder alive.
Exactly.
But you mentioned the PEA.
Yes.
Now, what is the PEA?
PEA, so pour l'égalité animale in French.
Okay.
So it's an association from the French part of Switzerland.
All right.
This association was created in 2014.
Okay.
And it was the first, or one of the first association speaking about directly Speciesism.
All right.
So we do not speak too much about food, vegan food, but Speciesism. And we speak about equality between animals. And we organized many events, and we organized 2 big events, 2 international events, and it would be good if Malta could join us.
Yes, of course, of course.
The first one will be in March 28th, regarding the end of fishing.
Yes, that is the World Day to End Fishing.
Yes, this one.
Yes, we'll have the links to these events in the description as well below.
Yes, so in March. And the second one will be in August. It's the campaign for the End of Speciesism.
Speciesism, yes.
So now we have 150 countries organized some events of this.
Yes, yes.
So
yeah,
yes.
we'll definitely have to make sure Malta becomes the 151st country.
Exactly.
I mean, we have to not get left behind for sure. And but the World to End Fishing is in March, 28th March, and a lot of people don't realize that the massive amounts of individuals that get killed fishing, the number is crazy, just crazy.
1 billion, 1 billion, no, 1,000 billion.
Yes, and that's
like
1
that.
trillion with a T,
yes.
You know? It's crazy, it's crazy. That's the 28th of March, and the other one is on the 29th of August. And when it comes to speciesism, we have to remember it's at the core of everything. If we become aware about speciesism, then we'll have a change in everything, because we'll end the discrimination in general. Now, obviously social media is very important. What do you think is the effect of social media in terms of the animal rights movement?
I think, yes, social media plays a very good, very big role for showing you know, the reality of the animal exploitation. And it's very, like animal, maybe the Association of Animal Save makes a very, very good job for this. And we know that official media doesn't want to show the reality. So social media is very useful.
And I'm sure it helps even get the word out. When you have an event, it's very easy to get people to know. And as you said, you're organizing an event across 150 countries around the world, which is something 20 years ago would be completely unheard of.
Yes.
What is one big misconception in regards of veganism which you would like to get rid of if you had it in your power?
The misconception for me is veganism is not a diet.
Yes.
But it's a politic struggle for fighting animal discrimination.
It's very interesting you said politics struggle, because it is a political struggle.
Yes.
I make a big difference. I tell people the difference between plant-based and veganism. And I always think of it as an ethical ideal. When you're talking about veganism, it's about ethics.
Yes.
But political struggle, that's a very good point, because the biggest change has to happen on the political level.
Economic.
Yes, yes, yes. Very, very, very well said. What advice would you like to give? I mean, people hearing us from, well, not only Malta, I'm sure Switzerland will tune in, but also from around the world. What advice would you like to give to anyone listening here?
Yes. I would like to advise people to be more sensitive, to think about billion animals died for nothing, and I think in reality nobody would like to kill an animal.
Yes.
So people have to forget tradition and act for a society, a new society without any discrimination.
Yes, yes. I agree 100%. And just because something is tradition, it doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it has to stay. Thank you very much, Karine.
Thank you.
That sends us to the last of our last interview for 2019. We'll be moving on to 2020 very shortly, in a couple of days' time. However, thank you very much, Karine, for joining us all the way from Switzerland. I hope you continue to enjoy Malta for the time you have with us.
Sure. Thanks.
If you have any ideas and comments, please let us know. We'll have the links to all these events below in the description. Otherwise, thank you for joining us once again here in Balance Bowl, Malta's only vegan eatery, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao!